If you're a founder, you probably already know that one thing that you should be doing, the content outreach, the follow-ups, but you just find yourself like reorganizing your Notion pages, chatting with AI, like researching your competitors. And everyone online tells you, just do it, be more disciplined, turn your brain off. But if that worked, it would have worked by now. You already want it. The intention is there. The problem is you're trying to use discipline to solve the wrong problem. And so in this video, I want to share with you why just do it never worked for me and my 4 C's of follow through framework so that you can figure out what is your actual specific problem and the actual solution that you need to fix your follow through. A couple years ago, I was doing a lot of cold outreach and I questioned constantly why I couldn't stay consistent with it. And I thought I just wasn't disciplined. I would be consistent for like a couple days, send some emails, send some messages, and then I would fall off. And then the story playing in my head was always like, I'm lazy, I'm not disciplined, like something's wrong with me because I can't do this. Like I look at other people sending like 100 messages every day and I'm like, why can't I do this? The problem was I was trying to think my way out of a feeling problem. This was a feeling problem for me, and this is what nobody told me, that if your nervous system does not feel safe doing the thing, then no amount of willpower, discipline, strategies, tactic is actually gonna help you to follow through. And so my actual problem was the 4th C that we're gonna get into later. And the trap that makes this so difficult, especially for the founders, business owners that I work with, is that the avoidance often looks productive. No one is just wasting their entire day. It's like they look productive. They are busy, and all of that busyness feels like they're progressing and doing things. You know, it's the researching competitors, the building the content strategy, building a system, like using AI to fix this little thing. All of it feels productive in the moment, but then they keep looking back on their days thinking like, I was so busy, but like, what did I actually get done? Did the one task that I need to do to grow this business and break through this revenue ceiling that I'm at, did I actually get it done? And the answer keeps being no. Like the thing keeps getting deferred and being pushed off, and they're not quite sure why. So this is the first necessary step, is understanding. Usually there's a micro moment right before the avoidance. What I call this is the activation resistance. You feel this activation resistance towards doing the task. Like you sit down, about to record a video, about to send a message, and you feel this resistance, and your subconscious is predicting, what is the cost of doing this? What if they don't respond? What if it doesn't work? What if it's too cringe? And in that gap, your brain goes to the immediate relief, the phone, the scrolling, the short-term busy work, let me just do this plan first because that is more clear. Let me do this busy work first. Let me do this research first. And so what I call this is the escape loop. There's a trigger, and then there's some meaning attached to that trigger, which creates a feeling, which causes you to escape into the short-term relief, which continues to build up into this long-term cost. So before you go on thinking that something's wrong with you, diagnose exactly what your specific follow-through problem is. Most follow-through struggles come down to 4 buckets: clarity, capacity, conditions, and courage. I'm gonna go through each one quickly and give what this looks like and the actual solution to that specific problem. And by the way, most of the people that I work with, they have more than one. So just keep that in mind. The first one is clarity. It sounds like I don't know what to do. And the real problem is that you haven't defined exactly what the next specific action is. And so if your to-do list is like, work on marketing, work on content, grow the business, like these are not specific concrete actions. And so in that vague space, your brain escapes into something that is more clear. A clearer task, something with more like some dopamine, some reward, some busy work that is clear. And so the solution here is define the next specific concrete action that you need to do. And so instead of say like work on content, do outreach, it's like at 10 a.m., I will send 2 messages to people who I know I can genuinely help. Do you know exactly the physical location where you will do this, when you will do this, what exactly you need to do? Open up your laptop, put the book down, open up your Google Doc, write the first 3 lines, the specific concrete action. The second one is capacity. This sounds like I might know what I need to do, but I just can't hold this right now. The load on me is too big right now. Maybe you're underslept, maybe you've overcommitted to too many things, maybe your calendar is too packed, maybe you're like stressed from personal life, and that is influencing your decision making, your energy to follow through. And so maybe you've created this plan, this routine, this structure that like only works when you are at your peak performance energy and you haven't designed it around like reality. And so if you keep creating this more extreme plan after every setback, that's probably the indication that you need to look at what is the pattern underneath this and not create another more extreme plan that you're not going to follow through on. And so if your follow through problem is a capacity problem, the solution is to reduce the commitment that you're making until it's something that you can actually sustain at your current level. So rather than I'm going to post daily content for an entire month, start with like, I'm just going to post 2 videos a week. I'm going to do X outreaches per week, per day. Something that actually feels sustainable for you right now that you can change later, but that's realistic to your capacity right now. The third C is conditions. This sounds like I keep getting distracted, I keep getting pulled away, and that is because your physical environment is built around interruptions, escape. This is like your phone is on your desk while you're working. The ringer is on, notifications are on. You're starting your day, opening emails, messages. You have no protected time, focused, deep work block in your routine. All of these things are physical things in your environment that are pulling you away from being able to sit down and focus and concentrate. And so the solution to a conditions problem is change your physical environment. When you work, put your phone, on the other side of the room, do not disturb, turn it off. Start your day with a clear, focused time block without any interruptions. And do your messages and emails later in the day. This is where like structure and routine, organization, energy, optimization is helpful. And it'll reduce the interruptions and the ease at which you escape from sitting down and doing that task and following through. The fourth C is courage. And this sounds like I know exactly what I need to do. I have the plan, I have the time, I have the environment, but I just can't seem to get myself to send the message, post the video, launch the campaign. And this is because the task is more than just a task. It is carrying emotional weight. This is like sending the message might mean you get rejected. This is like posting the video might mean you are judged as you are and you might not feel good enough. Or raising your prices might mean you end up disappointing people that you care about. And so it's not exactly the task, it is the feeling. It's the emotional feeling that doing the task brings up that you are avoiding. It's not the task, it is the feeling that you are avoiding. And so the solution to this is name the fear. What is it actually that you are afraid of? And then reduce the exposure and take an honest, simple step towards that fear. And so instead of setting out to do, I'm going to post every day, I'm going to send, X messages per day, name what that fear actually is, that feeling that you are avoiding, and then reduce the exposure to maybe rather than making a YouTube video, I'm just going to post carousels for now, which will help me get reps of being seen in public, and I can build up to putting my face out there, or practicing just speaking to my camera without publishing it. You're reducing the exposure rep to this fear and then taking action, building evidence that you can move through that, and then building up the exposure over time. And so this framework is what shifted things from me from like, why can't I do this thing? Asking that question to asking myself, what is making this so hard right now? What is actually making this so difficult? Am I unclear? Am I overworked right now? Is it my environment? Or am I avoiding a feeling by doing this? Each of these is a different problem that needs a different solution, a different intervention. And when you start to stack these things together, this is what happens when you do signal work, the work that I do with clients. You start to become someone who can recognize the pattern underneath what they are running, the pattern underneath their behavior, reduce the friction, and use a system to get back to and return to doing the work, doing the task, without relying on the just do it discipline, motivation, more willpower. To finish this out, I want to give you a concrete action that you can take away from this. Write out the task that you keep avoiding and finish the sentence, I keep avoiding this because what? Because X. And be honest with yourself. And then ask yourself, is it clarity, capacity, conditions, or courage, or some combination? And then choose the right solution and intervention for that problem. If it's clarity, define your next step. If it's capacity, reduce the load on you. If it's conditions, change something in your environment. And if it's courage, name the fear and take a smaller exposed step. You already know what doing it looks like. The fix is understanding why you keep abandoning, leaving, avoiding. Once you understand that, then you will follow through. If you're a founder or business owner who feels busy all the time but keeps avoiding the tasks that you know would grow your business, I work with people exactly like you to break through your current revenue ceiling and get back into growing your business. If you want to learn more, just check the description below this video. That's all I got for you in this one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.